Hello all. I just want to talk a little bit about a heart palpitation, a cardiac arrhythmia that I had been having really for the last couple months. Just a little bit on my background. I'm 39 years old. I was a regular drinker and smoker for about 19 years, ever since I went to college. I did drugs sporadically, mostly uppers. And about 2 months ago, in October of 2020, I woke up one morning after a night out, drinking beers, smoking, whatever, out late. Woke up the next morning, felt like my heart was going to explode out of my chest. Just this constant throbbing beating. I could feel it in my whole body. Just like this thrusting. And I chalked it up to, well, I'm probably dehydrated as shit. I didn't put good things in my body, whatever. So I get hydrated. I'm trying to clean my system out for the next couple days, and it will not go away. It is actually getting worse. And I'm thinking, well, I've probably done some serious damage here. This is not going away. It's this constant beating and thrusting through my body and shaking my whole body, or so I think. So I go to a doctor. Doctor listens to my heart, says it sounds fine, heart rate's fine, blood pressure's fine, then he does the EKG, and the EKG immediately comes up as abnormal, and I can feel it. I'm sitting there with these things plugged onto me, and I can feel my heart's wanting to beat out of my chest. I'm thinking, God, if there's not something wrong, then there's something fucking wrong. But so that only added to my anxiety and stress. So basically, this is my primary care physician, so he recommended me to a cardiologist. I go to the cardiologist a couple weeks later. He performs a EKG, listens to my heart. EKG was abnormal, but he said it wasn't even that crazy abnormal. And I was like, well, okay. But he wanted to bring me back for a echo, which is like a ultrasound for your heart, so they can see a lot more of the mechanics that are going on with each heartbeat. I still haven't made it to that appointment. It's next week, actually. But in that meantime that I was waiting, about a month, I'm freaking out. I'm anxiety ridden, just going through all these things online, YouTube videos, and diagnosing myself literally with every type of cancer and heart disease and heart problem, lung problem, and throat problems you could possibly imagine. I've got them all, which I'm sure that there's plenty of other people out there going through that same shit, trying to self-diagnose themselves, especially if you don't have health insurance, which I just recently got back. So thank God I was able to actually go to a doctor and not be stressed about how much am I going to be paying out of pocket for this guy. And so I empathize with people that do not have health insurance. Why we need universal health care. That's another story. So anyways, I'm waiting for this cardiologist, and it's still, I'm going to work every day. I'm feeling it all day. It's just miserable. And after so many YouTube videos, it's amazing I didn't come across it sooner. I finally, one of the last ones I come across is a nutrition specialist talking about heart palpitations in relationship to potassium and magnesium. And it turns out that potassium and magnesium are key nutrients you need for muscle and heart specifically, which is a muscle. And obviously that, along with good diet and hydration, are keys to having a fully functioning, healthy body, and not putting things in it to alcohol and tobacco. So for the last 2 months, I'd been eating pretty healthy, kind of on a Mediterranean diet, nuts and berries, fruits and vegetables, salmon. But even for the first month and a half of that, the heart palpitations, arrhythmia were still there. I think some of that was mental, because the mind can really push a lot of stress onto your heart. And but some of it I thought was physical. And so after I saw that video the doctor talking about potassium and magnesium being too low in their body, and that could easily cause palpitations and arrhythmia, I started supplementing my diet with just potassium and about 165 milligrams of magnesium citrate, which I just bought them at Walmart. They were cheap, inexpensive pills to buy. The potassium pills are only 100 milligram piece. Technically, I'd have to eat 10 of those or 50 of those a day to get enough potassium. So I've tried to supplement that with bananas and fish and avocados, all sorts of healthy stuff, greens, whatever I can get. And I swear within about 3 days of adding potassium and magnesium citrate to my diet, do not take too much magnesium. I don't go over 165 in a day. You only need 360, I think. So I'm just doing a partial supplement for that, and then hoping I get the rest from a lot of the other nutrients that I may be consuming in a day. But long story short, within about 3 days of taking the potassium and the magnesium citrate, I noticed that the arrhythmia and the palpitations have almost completely went away. It's actually quite amazing. It was such a stressful thing that was going on, and just like I knew that there's no way a human being could live like that for any length, like any length of time. Like, you just can't live constantly with your heart feeling like it's beating out of your chest. And I don't know if that solution will work for everybody, but it sure as hell worked for me. And I've continued on with a healthy diet. I'm up to running 1.5 miles, 2 miles a day, nothing strenuous, just kind of monitoring my heart and eating healthy foods, always staying hydrated, drink as much water as I can a day. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, it's going to be hard for just to do those things, because I know for myself, I loved eating crap food all the time and just sitting around and like being lazy. And it's taken it took me to have what I thought was severe heart problems, which still could be. I'm going to the cardiologist. Maybe I'll do an update video on that based on my echo. But as far as the feeling the palpitations and the arrhythmia, that's almost completely gone. And I chalk that up almost wholeheartedly to potassium and magnesium supplements to my diet. So that may be an option for you. It's not going to hurt. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to recommend anything that would hurt you. But I think adding a nutrient like that to your diet is probably perfectly fine. So I don't know if anybody else tries that, has heart palpitations, they don't know why, and they try the potassium magnesium. Let me know how it goes, if it affects the way your heart feels, and if some of the palpitations go away. I'd be very interested to know. But as for me, it appears to have worked. So let's get out of here.